ticket giveaways, and so much more. Join us Fridays and punch your Texas ticket. For more information on the show, visit irlonestar.com/Texas ticket.
Every week, people ask the same two questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these two questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, one-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process of helping their clients to a clearer financial future and to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran's show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
Lone Star Boxer Rescue is a nonprofit organization serving Montgomery County and surrounding areas, dedicated to the health and well-being of the boxer breed. Lone Star Boxer Rescue is run and managed 100% by volunteers since 1999. Our main objective is to rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome boxers that come to us from many sources, including local animal shelters, owner surrenders, and strays. For more information about Lone Star Boxer Rescue, visit our website at lsbr.org.
Did you know there are more than 790 abused and neglected children currently in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Allie Stevens with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. We train and support volunteers to be the voice of children in the foster care system. Kids are removed from their home because of abuse and neglect, and we need volunteers just like you to advocate for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com. That's CasaSpeaksForKids.com.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show. We really appreciate it, and we want to thank our sponsor, Chris Wootton, Wootton Financial Group, that sponsors us for over 3 years. They have, and shows that it's a good idea. So if you want to sponsor, we certainly would not turn away another sponsor. We can do as many sponsors as we need to. But the other thing I want to say to you is that you guys, if you have someone in your group that's an author or that's someone that has started a new business here in Conroe or Willis or just, where our people that watch this can get to it, but let us know and we can have them on the show. I love to talk to anybody. I mean, there are probably a few people I wouldn't want to talk to. But he's got to be here, and he's got to run the show. But I'm kidding. I'm not talking about you. Do you think I'm talking about you, Richard?
No, I'm not even listening to you.
You weren't even listening. See, that's what I mean. That's how.
Are we live?
Am I live?
Are we on?
Are we? You said 3, 2, 1, and that triggers.
No, my favorite is you're
response.
like, I'm ready, and you're doing your hair. I'm ready. I'm like, all right, 3, 2, and you're like, oh, we're starting. And I'm like, yeah, you literally just told me you're ready.
So you were doing that just to, okay.
You're the one that initiated it. You're the one that said, okay, I'm ready. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll start the show.
Yeah, I was, and then okay. But a lot of times it seems like you're zoned out, not,
Well,
participating.
every time we start the show, I always spend the first 5 minutes trying to make sure everything is up.
Okay. He's
'Cause
busy.
I got to check like 10 things.
Right. Well, I can certainly talk about a lot of things. Well, there's this one thing about.
Here we go.
I
What
saw
did Fox News
Fox
tell you?
News,
Yeah. What did they tell you?
You knew.
Oh, you know it's so great. I wanted to talk to you about this.
Oh,
So
well.
on Amazon, there's a new series out called the House of David, and I always enjoyed the books,
story?
the books of David and like the lineage, because Old Testament's all about lineage.
It
lineage.
is.
And because I basically read the Bible every day for I don't know until I was like 22. So watching the series, it's so funny because you could tell they're trying to be biblical about it, but not overly biblical.
Right, so they can keep the
Keep the normies
people
happy.
watching. Yeah.
But then it's so funny to watch something or read something based off another piece of work, and they change certain things. Because especially how old that book is.
Yes.
And for some reason, people like love David. I mean, I guess he did a lot of great things, but he also
he also
killed
Goliath.
No, he also killed the husband of his mistress.
True.
So I think that's really bad. That's not just like oopsie. That's like really bad. And I'm sitting
maybe
there, but I'm watching this series, and I go, I wonder how they're gonna tell that story, because Bathsheba, I mean, she might be hot, but she was married. And he did like the cruelest thing you could do, send him on the front line, so make sure he dies, which is a baller move.
Well,
Because she must have been really hot.
he
And
was
then, no,
far- you know, the thing about
not even that.
is-
Before that, this is the scenario I wish. This is a scenario I wish,
Okay.
because you know how people try to baby trap people all the time. So he tried to do a baby trap to Urias, the husband. Do you remember that in the story?
No. Well,
So he seduces the wife, Bathsheba,
right.
and they sleep together, and she's pregnant. So he tries to pull Urias out of the army and be like, you need to go lay with your wife. You need to go do that. And apparently during that time in the war, Israel had like a rule, I don't know if it was an unspoken rule, but it's like you
Yeah,
can't sleep
don't
with
do it.
you can't sleep
Well-
with your wife until the war is over or
Right.
something like that. So of course Urias, being the gentleman
He's a
and
patriot.
and loyal servant to David, he's like, well, I'm not going to do that. That's like against the rules. So I'm thinking, oh man, they're going to show David all worried about like, how do I, like, what a scenario to be in.
Right.
And that scenario still plays out today. But if I'm talking, I mean,
And then what happens?
He sends
the
him
child
to
dies.
yeah,
So
and he sends him to the front line and kill the husband.
no, he does. So
He does both. He
his-
loses in the end.
loses both of them, and that's when he gets turned around.
And one thing I always bothered me about, especially the Old Testament, was like was God's justification of choosing these people because they're pure of heart or whatever. And I'm sitting there, I always was like, you're telling me, out of all those people, the people you choose always end up doing something bad. There's got to be more than one person. There's got to be that one farmer.
I
who
think,
literally,
I think his name was Jesus, and he's
Well,
that's
that-
why he sent his son down.
It's
Because
like,
everybody's so
we
bad.
got the super sub. No, like I'm sitting there going, like, there's got to be like one farmer who's like the most dedicated person ever, and it's just kind of like, and I can actually see that farmer going like, I don't really want to be king. I kind of like it here, and because there's a little motivation, especially in the book of David. It was, his father was very mean to him,
Well,
or
like-
not really mean, but he never counted him as like his son. He was always on the bottom of the list of all the sons.
well, he was the youngest. And
Well,
so,
but from
like
what I
the-
know, his mom, I still, because I didn't really remember that part, was did his father sleep with his mother? Because he has a different mom than the rest of the brothers.
I don't.
So I don't
I don't
remember.
remember-
I don't remember if it
remember
was
that.
a shameful thing where he like did the.
Well,
did-
he was the youngest, and all the
But I
brothers
think-
made fun of him, and
but I think there was a
and
different
were-
mom,
were very
too.
mean to him.
It was one of those black sheep kind of things, like, oh, you're from an adultery situation.
No, it may not.
I think
Maybe,
so. I don't remember it. Like I remember it being that he was outcasted. Like he was the.
Well,
But-
he was.
But the show's not bad. I give it a solid B. But I also like the Book of David. My favorite rendition of the story of David is a show that NBC had a
What was it
while
called?
back. I think it was in like the early 2000s. Called Kings. And yeah,
Okay,
I don't know if you can stream it anywhere, but it's really good. It's
Is it-
modern.
It's real modern.
It's very modern, and it has. Let me think of his name. He's a great actor. He's in Deadwood.
He's in what?
He's in Deadwood. You heard the show Deadwood? It's probably
No.
like the top 3 shows ever. Ian McShane. He plays Saul, and he's really good. I'll show you a picture of him. That's him. You ever seen this guy? You ever seen this actor? He's in John Wick. He's the Continental, the head of the Continental in New York.
I don't recognize him. Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, but he's a really good actor.
And he plays David.
He plays Saul.
Saul. Okay. Yeah. And
But yeah, I
that's-
recommend
see,
that
that's what
show.
Saul
I
was-
enjoyed that show. It got cut short, but it's still, I mean, it's a complete story. I think it goes all the way till David's fleeing. The story is told, when he flees.
Well,
'cause-
yeah, but you remember what kind of relationship that he and God had in their family
Until he saw that hot chick bathing
well and
called
and,
Bathsheba.
no, but he was like
That's what,
the king
See, that's what I would do if
Saul
I was king. Though.
liked him.
I would have totally done that.
You totally what?
Hey, like I'm taking a stroll in my little castle, and I'm
Yeah.
like looking over, and I see my neighbor over there, and I'm like, oh, there's a lady bathing. Nice. Wonder what her name is.
Oh, Richard.
So I would love those stories. There's little things in there. I'm like, see, even people today are still butt heads.
It hasn't changed.
We never learned.
It hasn't changed.
But then
in
again, at
over
that time, you could have
2,000
multiple
years.
wives and all that kind of stuff. So
Well, but the relationship that God had with David, he loved David, and David,
well, I think God loved
played-
everyone during that time at
played
one
the
point or
song.
another.
Well, he played the songs, and he was just very endearing to God, and so God saw a lot of potential in him, and knew that one day he was going to
Yeah, I
make
get
him
it.
where he's king, and when he did all this stuff, well, God had it with him, and he sent a prophet to him to say, David, I want to tell you a story. There was a farmer who had sheep, but this one sheep was so a pet to him. He just loved the sheep. And he named it.
Yeah, it's like talking to my
cared
dad.
for it and all this, and it was great.
Can you imagine having an adult figure that speaks to you in parables? That would drive me nuts. I'd be like, can you just tell me I'm a bad person?
Well, can you let me finish the story
it's
so
not
I
that
can
important.
explain to you what God?
I get it. I don't like hearing parables. I'm over
You
it.
don't know what the other part was. So
'Cause-
he said there was another farmer who lived next door to him that had all these sheep, and he saw the one that this first farmer was, fattening up and he loves the sheep and all that. So he goes over and gets that sheep and slaughters the sheep and they have a big supper and all that stuff. And he said, and David goes, what? And he says, well, what do you think we should do with that second farmer who killed the sheep that was a pet of the first one? And he said, kill him, just kill him. That's horrible. And he said, but you're that second farmer. And and you know what I'm like. He said,
Well, 'cause
you're
men,
that second
men are
farmer.
very
He
ignorant,
knew.
which I like. They try, human beings, they love to justify their behavior. Those are the best people.
Because he had all these wives, he had all these
Yeah.
women,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he went over and got this one that
But see, I would do the same thing.
Well, see, that's what I think. God does stories like that and has people like that, and he chooses people like that so that you can relate to them and go, man, that's awful. So I think I'm going to be better.
No, I'd be like, man, it was a good life.
Oh,
Right?
Lord,
That was,
no.
that was a good life.
No, but
'cause
it all. I mean, David had like second chances and didn't take them, and then he lost a son, and it was very because he was exactly doing what God didn't want him to
I
do.
like it, but no, it's on Amazon, and
What this David you're talking about?
Yeah, The House of David. It's entertaining.
That's what a lot of those ones I don't, because I know what's going to happen. It's like I know the outcome. It's like when you're watching a show that you've seen so many times before. And this is not something on my finger. I'm going like this, and I'm going, and if people are going, what does she have on her finger? I scratched my skin off.
Yeah, I know. You're falling apart.
No, and I kept thinking, what is that? And I kept trying to get it off. It's blood that just, but it's bruised, and
Yeah.
because so anyway, it's not what you may think it is. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Well, this is so much.
No one can see that.
Yes, I put my hands up like
Yeah.
you can't because of that camera. Okay, I won't do it again.
Why don't you just show everybody what?
You're going to be so happy and so excited. I went to the cardiologist yesterday after I left here, and everything was fine. I don't get it.
Big shocker.
Well, it is a big shocker because I complained about everything.
I feel like when I finally have to go to the doctor, it's gonna be like that time you bring your car in to like you haven't serviced it in about 30,000, 40,000 miles, and then it's like, oh hey, by the way, you have like 19 things wrong with you. That's what's gonna happen with me. It's like it's not gonna be like, oh you did break your finger. Oh, it's so sad. Oh, you have a broken finger, but you also have this problem, this problem, this problem, and I'm like, I'll get to it.
But see, that's exactly what happened when I went in, and I thought they were just gonna maybe, give me a stent, but they said, well, we can't do that because it's not just one artery.
You've been stented out.
It was 9. You have 9 arteries that are just about 80%, and the Widowmaker is about 90%. So we have to go in and do this, and so the cardiologist looked. He said, "Your heart sounds fine, and your lungs sound fine." And
I'll probably go to the doctor
good.
when I'm like 90, and then that's when they'll tell me. I'm
Yeah,
like,
just wait.
and I'll look at the doctor like, yeah, I'm 90 years old. No wonder I'm falling apart. Like, come on now.
Well,
I'm like, what are the options for opiates? Just give me some like really cool psychedelics and let me live out my life.
Well, I told him, I said, listen, I've got eczema all over me now, and I don't know, and it keeps me up at night. It's horrible. And see what I've done to my finger. But it's horrible.
Yeah.
So can you give me anything? And he said, Cindy, it's just stress. It's anxiety. You've had a lot of bad things happen to you, and you're having to take care of everything. So it's anxiety, and you'll get through it, and it'll be okay. It's only been a year. So let's
seem
get
fine to me.
power through that.
Or at least you wear pants when you come in. I'm just waiting for that time. I was like, with this lady out in the street
That I forgot.
doesn't have any pants and she doesn't know where she is. I'm like, I don't know who that is.
Or wear the bra on the outside of
Yeah.
my dress. Did you see that in what's that? Was the Tom Hanks was in it, and John Candy. Oh shoot, the Mermaid.
Splash.
And his secretary was kind of older and kind of goofy, and he comes in and she's got her bra on the outside of her dress, and he's trying to talk to her, and I just imagine that would be awkward. But you wouldn't say anything about it. You just go like, that's what she wants to wear.
It's a
That's what she
Tuesday.
wants to wear. It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday for Cindy.
Let me ask you a question. A lot of people, I think it's just hard for them to get to us, and so that they can ask the question. Or
Yeah, I changed it. People can text now.
Okay. Oh, they can't. Okay.
Yeah.
Because,
I changed it. I try to do the best I can because we're on YouTube, and then you can text 936-666-1084.
966.
No,
What are you doing?
936
936.
666-1084.
It's got 666 in it.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds just like you. That would be your perfect.
Well, it's called
number.
free, And I go, give me any number doesn't look like a robocall number. So
Well, that's probably a number they didn't want. No, I don't want 666 in my number. So that's weird. But they can comment. But do you vet? And because you're afraid it's going to hurt my feelings, what they say.
sometimes.
Oh, okay. But I like that.
Well, for a while, I was getting all of these like young models saying, are you older? I need an older woman. I'm tired of I'm tired of dealing with the Gen Z women. I need an older woman
Who is more experienced, and more stable, and
Yeah.
like those guys.
Stable. Yeah, right. A woman. Come on now. No matter what age.
They got old enough to be stable.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Well, that's a good point. That's a real good
I
point.
know.
Yeah. You probably know me better than anybody because I don't spend this much time talking to anybody in my family. We talk. I mean, we live together, so we talk. But because they live upstairs, I mean, on the second floor, I'm glad we have railings so I can yell at and say, "Hey, what are y'all doing? What's going on?" And so, but I don't talk to anybody.
That's probably one of my biggest pet peeves.
Is what?
Is people yelling at each other, like to communicate a non-threatening way. Like if I was mad, totally get yelling, totally get it. But if you're like, "Hey, Daddy, turn down the AC," I hate that. My sister does it, and I'm like, can we just not startle the entire room and you can walk over there and tell the person? Or
Well, I have to remind everybody this. Look, guys, I'm going to open this window. Look, there's the house next door. I mean, there's like right there. I mean, it is maybe 5 feet between the houses. It's like living kind of in an apartment.
oh yeah,
And no matter if it's brick or whatever, you're going to be heard if you all start yelling and stuff.
well that's why I use curse words.
No, and you can't use
I think what I should do to counter that is buy one of those keychain air horns.
And
then so when someone starts yelling, I could just hit it real quick.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, we got everyone's attention. What do you need to tell me?
all right, share it with everyone.
Yeah, we're already doing it.
Yeah, and so I just wondered if you vetted everybody that called, and if you thought, no, this is gonna hurt her feelings if I tell her this. You remember when Mark and I were doing the show, like the first day.
Some people were. Yeah, someone sent something and it hurt Mark's feelings, and Mark, you could just tell it's like the biggest downer for him.
It was, and I said,
it bothered him for weeks.
And I kept telling him, I said, Mark, I love that. I mean, it says somebody's listening. I mean, that's what Bob Smiley would say. At least you should know somebody's listening to you. But y'all aren't funny at all. I think that's what he said. He said, y'all may think you're funny, but you're not funny.
I should have done like a fake email and just really amped it up. But like, Cindy's so funny. I don't know why Cindy's hanging out with this guy. Just kidding.
Yeah, I know. I remember you told me.
It's funny. It's funny you remind me when with Mark. One thing I always love what people do is when they introduce their wives, and usually it's men doing it. It's like, this is my better half, or like, this is the thing that's like a lot better than me. Mm-hmm. And every time I hear that, I'm like, do you just not valid? Like when you wake up, you're just like, I'm a POS. Like
What did Mark do?
That's what he would say, like with his wife and stuff like that. Like she's the better one.
Oh, I thought he said something.
But every time someone tells me, I immediately go, "What do you do? Like hit kids or something? Like how is she any better than you?" It's like, are y'all's values that drastically different?
That's so sweet that he's saying
that's not sweet. That tells me that he does bad things because he thinks he's a bad person. So it's like, what bad things do you do? Now I'm interested in why you think you're so bad.
Sam always go, "Oh, hi, it's so nice to meet you. I'm Mr. Cindy Cochran, and this is Cindy Cochran." And the people go, "What? What do you mean?" And he says, "Oh, you don't know Cindy Cochran? Let me." And then he'd have to say something crazy. I said, "No, he's just being silly." Because people would come over the table at that time. I know you don't believe that, but they would come over the table to ask for my autograph and stuff, and I would
believe it.
have to tell I would have
You
to.
still have that expectation behavior with me.
That you're going to ask for my autograph?
No, like just the entitlement behavior.
I
You still
do.
you still do that with me all the time.
I do not. That's just called lazy stuff that
Yeah.
I don't do that you wish I do. But you think I feel entitled?
Oh, there's little things you do.
Like what?
Like when you think you can call me at like 9 p.m. after I've told you don't do that unless you're dying.
Well, what was it about?
Nothing.
Oh,
Because I don't pick up the phone.
see, it could have been something. I could have been dying. I said, I just wanted to let you know, with my last breath, goodbye. Thank you for everything.
And I'd be like, all right. Appreciate you too.
But
See you soon. See you soon. That's how I like when people say like they're dying. I'm like, all right, I'll see you soon.
Well, I don't know about that. But if you're, anyway, if you're vetting people and afraid that's going to hurt my feelings, I love to hear what they're saying. I think that's okay. You're going to find something you're going to make it up. What are you going to, when you start looking at the computer screen going, I've got one that you're going to be upset
Well,
with.
then you just need to tell people. Just send in a message to Cindy on Facebook or
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, to ask anything they want to ask, because I was going to say today, like, we had a show with 3 people, but we only talked to one guest yesterday, and that was the Red Lion.
you have no idea.
Project.
You have no idea, do you? You don't remember
Tom
yesterday.
Logan.
You don't remember
Tom
yesterday.
Logan had lost his son. He was a Marine.
Yeah.
And they'd gone on this fabulous fishing.
When he said that
tour.
he talked to him that morning, those are the kind of stories that freak me out a little bit.
Yeah. And that the things he said and what he wrote, that he said to him and said, like, about don't cry, Mom.
But I don't think that was that morning.
No.
That was I think that's when he was enlisting. He
Yeah,
said
this
like,
was-
"Hey, don't worry. Like,
Right.
This is."
It was like foreboding.
But yeah, no, the
but the
morning
other
phone
one-
call thing is always because when people always say like, this could be the last goodbye, so be
Yeah.
kind. And I'm like, man, I'm not really kind to anybody. But then again, if they died, I wouldn't care.
But see, that's why you should always treat everybody like it may be the last time you see them. And what would you want them to remember that you said to them?
Well, a lot of people I know, I would prefer them not to think of me. I would hope they think of their mom or something. I don't want them thinking of me.
Well, I mean, somebody that
It's
you're
kind of
close to.
selfish, isn't it? Like you want them to think of you,
No,
or you want to make yourself feel better knowing that you weren't a jerk to somebody's last day.
Yeah, like you'll feel guilty. You said, I shouldn't have said that to him. I should
That's
have.
selfish thinking.
Well, I mean,
I'm only being nice to you so I don't feel guilty if you get hit by a car.
Yeah,
That's
There you go.
stupid.
that's the only reason I'm being nice to you, just
Yeah,
because.
it's the only reason.
Yeah, and that and if it does happen, you won't be mad at me because I couldn't help it. I couldn't help that wasn't able to call you and say I'm not gonna be able to come in today.
Yeah.
So
And then you'd be like, forever.
this is Last Breath. That's a new movie that looks good.
Oh yeah, with Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing
Apparently, it was a documentary. Like I was listening
It was
to
a
it.
true story?
I was listening to an interview, and he was saying that this the guy who directed the movie also directed the documentary that was based off the story of it. And then
that just because I remember there's some movie.
But then again, like, how do you feel sorry for people like that? Like, it's tragic. I get it. It's one of those unfortunate
Yeah.
things. But it's like you're also underwater, dude. Like, we don't live underwater. It's
But
completely dangerous.
What was the movie where they were going to have to be able to swim for so far, so long, and so the guy tells his wife or I don't know, somebody, he tells them, look, you're going to have to swim this, and when you were in your mother's womb, your lungs were full of liquid, and we're going to do that again. We're going to replicate that so that you're going to be able to make this swim
Yeah.
from here. Do you know what movie? I'm
No,
talking-
I have no idea.
That was just,
I don't want to think about going back into my mother's womb.
you don't want to think about that.
No.
No. Well, you could start over again and make better choices in your life. You think?
No. See, I always thought about that. Like, if you time traveled into the past and you still had the same memories of the life you lived before.
Who would you hang out with?
But I think if that was actually a possibility, like, your brain would die. Because your brain is always developing new synapses, and the synapses are dying. So the reconnection's happening throughout your lifespan.
But we only use
But then
10% of it.
I know, but then if you go back in time and you're a little baby, your brain is at that development stage as a baby. So there's no way it can hold all those memories and all those things. There's just no way. So
That's better, though, because really, if you had your memories as a baby,
yeah, but that your baby self couldn't handle a whole lifetime
Right.
of memories in that little baby brain.
But what I'm talking about is like if the experiences you've had taught
Now,
you to be who
maybe
you
that's what
are.
deja vu is. See, that's what I like in sci-fi. You can kind of make it, but then you can kind of do it. Like, that's what I would do.
You feel like
so
you've
if-
been there before?
Yeah, so that's the whole thing of, like, oh, you did go back in time, and you are kind of remembering, but your brain can't handle it. So the deja vu is that.
Ah.
And for some reason, for the whole plot of the movie is you don't remember because that's the driving plot. Like, that's the twist at the end. Oh, you went back in time.
That's weird.
I feel like they already made that movie. They probably did.
It is. If we could just
But
let me call Elon Musk and I want to talk to him about that.
I don't know if I could talk to him in general.
Why?
Because every time I hear him speak, it's just like, it's almost like talking to, I'm trying to think how I could put it. Like, it's almost like talking to a smart toddler, but wants to, he won't speak to you unless he picks the right words to say.
Oh, like you're right. He
So
has that look on his face like he's
It's like,
in his
hey,
brain is
like,
going
just tell me yes or no. You don't need to explain it. It's just yes or no. Like,
right. But I do you think he thinks
it would drive me
everybody's
nuts. It would drive me nuts.
so much has so little understanding of the world and what's going on, so he has to talk that way. I want to make sure you understand.
No, I think it's just, I mean, this is probably how his brain functions, which is fine. I'm just saying, like, if I had to, like, call him and try to figure something out, I'd be like, can I just talk to your mom or something? Like,
Well, if you were going to interview him,
oh, okay, so that's different.
then what would you ask him?
I mean, I don't really care.
What?
I don't really care. I don't really know. I would ask him. Oh, actually, I would ask him, how much is it to go in space? Because I want to go to space.
How much it would cost to go
Yeah.
into space? How much he'd charge?
Yeah, I want to go to space. I want to come back too. So I don't want a one-way ticket.
I want to make sure it's going to catch.
Well,
rocket.
you never know with these business people. Details are important in the contract. I could see him going like, "Oh, it's $50,000." That's one way.
How much? How much is his Tesla? Tesla.
I think they start at like 42 or something like that. I don't know. There's probably aftermarket ones. Or
Oh, I thought it was going to be like 100 and something.
no, they start. I mean, like, you can buy used ones. But then again, like,
Well, the silver car that looks like a tank.
yeah,
shrunk.
Cybertruck. I think those are 100,000.
Yeah, the Cybertruck. And who is that?
I don't know.
Do you don't have a guest after me?
You do. We do.
Oh. Well, who's your guest after me? Why don't you promote him? What?
I don't know. I don't. People don't let me know who's coming in or not. I just know people are having a show.
Oh,
So-
okay. Oh, I see. Okay, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one has the common courtesy of informing the engineer of how many people, who it is, what's their name.
That's why wasn't it smart that I gave you the job to do that?
Oh, I love it. It's just more things for me to do.
but
Because you know,
you're
my
sure.
favorite thing to do now is waking up and realizing how much more things I need to do today to accomplish what would feel like a good day. It's like just keep adding to it, and it's like almost like a challenge. Like, hey, life is on normal mode. I need to be on hard mode. So I was like, Cindy, I need Cindy in my life. to increase it to hard. Like I like a challenge.
No, you just imagine how easy your life would be without me in your life, because you would have 3 days that you could fill up with other programs.
No,
And
they wouldn't bring me a grape salad.
did you eat all that grape salad?
Yeah. You know what I was thinking about this the other
That's
day?
so good.
When you described it to me.
Yeah.
Because you're going to a place called like chicken, what's it called?
Chicken salad, chicken.
Yeah, it's chicken salad, chicken, or whatever. The whole
Chicken salad,
the entire restaurant is chicken salad.
Yeah.
So when you described the grape, I thought it was chicken salad with grape in it, because there's so many different ways you can do it.
Sure.
And then when you came to me and you go, here you go, it's just a bowl of grapes with some yogurt. I mean, I don't know what kind of sauce they use. And I'm sitting there going like, huh. You go to a place that literally sells only chicken salad, and you get me this. Because I'm cool with it, but it's just funny to me. I was like, that's a curveball right there. It really was a curveball, because I was
told me you
well, the way you described it is like, oh, I'm going to the chicken salad place. Have you had it with the one with the grapes? And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I've had chicken salad grapes. It's good, whatever. Like whatever's easiest, get it. And
Yeah.
I'm thankful. But when you just open that up, it's just all grape. That's all it was. It's like, huh? Where's the chicken salad?
That's a little redundant for me.
Yeah,
But did you like the soup?
yeah. Everything was good.
That soup is just a. It's
I mean,
like
I
a
wouldn't
meal
call
in
it
itself.
amazing, but
You what?
I wouldn't call it amazing. I can make a better potato soup.
You can make a better potato
oh
soup.
yeah.
Oh, come on.
Oh yeah.
Do it and bring it,
Okay.
and we'll do a taste test. That soup was, because I've.
But yeah, chicken salad's pretty good. I enjoy I enjoy food that you can make that you can change up with variety every single time. It's different. You can find new ways to make it. You want more crunch, put
Yeah.
some celery in it.
Do you put grapes in your salad?
That's what I thought you did.
I mean, in like your regular salad, your lettuce and tomato salad that you're gonna make, and
It depends if you're
Doesn't
making
sound-
like a fruit-based salad.
but if you put grapes in it, there's a sweetness, and you have that
Yeah.
a sweet taste while you're. It's
Yeah,
so
you can do
good.
apples, strawberry. I mean, that's what I made the other day. It was strawberry and apples in my salad.
What
some
kind of dressing
walnuts.
do you use?
I don't use dressing.
You don't know.
I don't use it.
You don't use dressing.
No, I eat it like a cow. I'm just like, and just eat it. I'm like,
Ew,
get over it.
yo.
The fruit's pretty good. I enjoy it.
Well, I mean, like understand that with a fruit salad, but a salad with
Well, like my favorite thing to do is you buy those wasabi almonds from the grocery store, which is like coated in wasabi, and then you hard boil an egg, and you put the egg and the nuts in the salad, and you shake it up, break up the egg, and the egg acts as an adhesive to the wasabi seasoning, so it covers all the leaves with wasabi, and then you have some shredded egg
What?
in there. It's really good. That's my favorite.
I never thought I'd like egg in a salad, but it is.
Yeah.
It is good.
I don't like hard-boiled eggs, but that way I did that.
You don't eat a hard-boiled egg?
No.
Why? Not. Why
I'm a
not?
texture person, and I just
Well, what do you know? I don't understand is this the
same thing
flu,
why I don't
the
like
bird
mushrooms.
flu.
But mushrooms taste fine, but the texture of a mushroom just always gets me.
You don't like that?
No.
But that makes the best sauce when you fry the mushrooms with onions, and then
mean-
but the sauce from it.
Yeah.
If you had to pick out all the mushrooms and
Well,
it's
that's what I'm
good.
saying. It's like they're good. They taste good, but like
Mm-hmm.
the texture always, I'm like, oh, that's bad.
But that rise coffee that's made with mushrooms,
Mm-hmm.
that's not like a psychedelic thing, right?
You wish it was.
You know what? We are so genius. We can. How many subjects can we cover in 1 hour? I mean, how many have we talked about? If I counted all the different subjects we've just gone through.
Whatever.
We did David, we did Bathsheba, and we did. What are you looking
All right,
at?
I love this. I got a question on YouTube.
Uh-oh. From who?
I love this. Stones on Fire. Okay, you're Cindy. All right, you ready? Does advance in AI help humanity or harm humanity? I don't know why Stones would think Cindy. This is gonna be great.
You think my intelligence is artificial anyway, so what difference does that make? So if
No, you make me wonder if reality is reality.
I make you wonder.
Yeah,
that?
well, certain people in my life, I'm like, this can't be real. Am I still dreaming?
See,
What's
maybe it's because
People at
you're-
the bowling alley, same thing. The people I encounter at the bowling alley, it's just like, oh wow, this world must be a really big place because I've never run into somebody like this.
But just think about, in the Bible it says that we've entertained angels unaware, and so maybe that's what's happened. Some people that you meet, I'm not saying me, I'm because I'm trying to keep
yeah, like
my
when
identity.
I'm strolling around my kingdom and I look down and I see a hot chick in a bathtub, I'm like, that could be an angel. I better go talk to her. I better apologize for seeing her naked.
Yeah, you need to.
I need to repent. I need to apologize.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let me go down there. My gosh. How but so anyway, I
So
ask
AI.
me the question again.
Ask the question again. All right. Does advance in AI help humanity or harm humanity?
It helps humanity. It depends on the way you use it, because they're saying they're going to be able, the cancer and being able to detect things so much sooner that we have, and in time to catch it and
Yeah. I
fix
mean,
it.
I always thought like if the more advanced AI gets, how as a humanity or a human species, where do we put our value? Because I feel like valuing things is important. But if we have AI that does everything for us, like our value shifts. So I always wonder about like, are we gonna lose touch of valuing things, or
Well, if you-
and
if you-
people? Because it's kind of like when people serve.
that's
weird.
Is that
I think that's
Andrew?
Andrew. Yeah.
is it
I don't.
was it Andrew?
No, I don't know how he got in.
Was that
I don't know. I don't care.
somebody help us?
I don't understand some people. Like again, that's another character in my life. I always wondered, like, you've been coming here for I don't know 7 months, Alex, and we've always had Cindy's show before you, and
Oh, and
I don't know how he got in the back. I'm not even allowed back there. So now I'm like, how does
Yeah,
he
like
get
that.
access?
does he have a card?
I don't
Does he have a
know.
card? Does he have
No
my
one
card?
knows what's going on.
Where's my card?
Yeah.
Do you have my card?
Most important thing is you don't have it, Cindy.
Well, because
And when I give it to you, you'll have it. So always remember, you don't have it.
I'm not going to come back until I get it, so
That's
I can
fine with me.
get here, so I can come in here.
Yeah.
You don't understand? That's so,
See,
hard on
the
me.
humanity AI. I hope did we answer that question? Did you feel like you answered that sufficiently?
I think it helps humanity.
You think it does?
Mm-hmm. Because
Is that because you need so much help?
What?
Is that because you need so much help?
Because I need so much help. Yeah, I need. No, I think that
I-
it's the way humanity uses it. I mean, it's like anything. If like drugs, do they help humanity or do they hurt humanity? It depends on how they use them or abuse them or all that. That's up to the person. If we can't stay stronger than what the AI machines are maturing to, then it's going to be bad. I mean, the AI machines, they say they keep growing and they keep getting smarter and all that. But if we're ones programming them, why would we
Well,
worry?
I don't think that we've. I think in certain areas of. I'm trying to think how I could say it. Like, I haven't seen the potential really what it can do in my day-to-day life. But then again, like no one really knew the internet would have such an influence on people's lives, 40 years ago, 50 years ago.
Right.
So, it hasn't integrated itself into common practice.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't really know if it could help or not. I think in certain jobs that people have, like engineers and things, it could potentially have something in it.
Well,
But-
on the assembly line,
Because the only time
imagine
I really,
how many people have lost jobs because
well, the
of
only time I ever saw it being like really like I was like, wow, is when and this is ironic because like people still work in Excel, which is a very
yeah.
prehistoric computer program. But I've
Uh-huh.
seen people take data, give it to the AI, and you can tell them, hey, these are my stat lines. This is what I need in these columns. This is what I need in this column. And then I need this this equation figured out on these things. And it will make an Excel spreadsheet for you for all like your budget.
Using all that data.
Using all that data. So like you could take your bank records and go like, here are my bank records.
Oh,
Give me a budget of this. Like this is what I want to spend.
I need that so
and
bad.
things like that.
I need that so bad because
So that's the only thing I can like. When I saw that, I was like, oh, that's actually kind of cool because I think a lot of people don't have general knowledge of of anything that you need like a true expertise. Like when you go to your CPA, it's kind of like going to your doctor. Like you're the doctor, dude. I have no idea. Like whatever you tell me, I'll do it. So
see, I want that where I could slide in the.
But when I saw that,
the
was cool.
Statement sheet from my bank.
Yeah.
And say I need a column with
So
what I did.
Yeah,
with that
yeah. Because someone
DoorDash,
showed it to me
what I
for
did.
their bowling, which was
yeah.
really bizarre to me. Because I was like, you really write all that crap down? Because this particular gentleman he's a fun dude, but he literally wrote down every throw he threw, what pins were left up, what frame it was in, what his total score, what ball he used. And so he would have all these graphs. And I was like, how do you put all this together? I feel like he's like, oh, I use AI. That's all I have to do is just write down like the fields. And he has his little paper book and he writes it down and like, oh, he left the 2-3 on frame 3. So you can see his averages, where his ball's going. And then the AI can kind of give him an output of like, this is what you need to work on.
Does AI say, okay, stand on the third arrow?
Well, I mean, I bet you could after you set the parameters. Because you can say, how many times did I hit, pocket 10? And it'll tell him how many times he missed.
But when you're playing, you played racquetball, right?
We're not talking about racquetball.
Not what? I want to tell
Well, your racquetball stories always end up in weird ways.
I ask you if you played racquetball.
You've asked that question.
Okay, and how good were you?
I'm better than you. That's
sorry.
all that matters.
I'm sorry.
No, I enjoyed racquetball, but the only time we ever played racquetball was like the tennis court was full, or like that was, because by the time I got to racquetball wasn't that popular, but they already built all the buildings,
They did. That's
so
right.
it's like it's already there. And usually racquetball, no one really wanted to play unless, again, if something else was full, it's like, oh, let's just go play racquetball for a little bit.
Well, that's a shame.
And I play a different style of racquetball. Was the whole goal when we'd play was try to hit each other.
Really?
Like we wouldn't really try to play racquetball where we would hit trick shots so you couldn't get to it. Like the whole goal was I need to bounce it off 2 walls and hit you in the face. So that's if I need.
You just took all the fun out
It
of it.
was actually more fun because
bet
you
for
always
you.
get that awkward when the ball comes at you and you're like, oh,
Uh-huh.
and you think it's gonna hurt, but that never hurts.
It did whenever. Well,
We think it would hurt worse.
yeah. We'll see your guy. That's why guys shouldn't be in girl sports.
Well, I mean, I think at certain sports, I think it should be allowed.
Well, which
Like
sport?
mixed swimming, like I can see that mixed relay swimming. That'd be fun. Didn't they do that in track and field too? There's the mix.
How could they do mixed swimming?
Yeah, and the relay.
In the relay, and the guy that swims is going to be faster than the girl that
Yeah,
swims.
but it's a relay. So the person after the guy is going to be a girl, and then after the girl is going to be a guy. They're on a team.
Right, I understand.
So there's nothing wrong
relay
with that.
Swimming.
What's wrong with that? And like in chess, I don't see why you couldn't do mixed chess. I see no problem. Video games especially. They don't.
Well,
Gender doesn't matter in video games.
In video games, yeah,
and
that's true.
that's a legit competition. So
Do you,
that's the way I see it. It's like, hey, it's just kind of common sense. If you don't think it's a good idea, then don't participate.
well, yeah, but you've been practicing and all this for
But it's also
every
something like
morning
because
you
like
get to the event.
well, like for example, the baseball, like that's the whole story with softball. Like softball was created because I think it was created because it was either the guys didn't want to play with the girls, because girls could play baseball if you just do the fundamentals, and then they could play baseball. Maybe not as good as some guys. Maybe some girls are better than some guys. I can see it, you know, 'cause especially pitching and stuff. That's like all technique. That has nothing to do with gender, I imagine.
No, you don't think that a guy could throw faster than a girl?
Yeah, but I also think there's some
Hardball.
I think there's some pitchers out there that are rely more on technique than their speed. Like one of the best pitchers, Greg Maddux, he didn't really have a lot of speed, but he knew how precision. He knew how batters. There's a
Right.
great story. You know who Greg Maddux is? The Atlanta Braves pitcher who like just swept us, the Astros. I think it was like 2001, maybe.
He wasn't.
But there's a great story about him and
Okay.
Jeff Bagwell, because they were pitching in like a regular season, and he told the catcher at the time, who was the Braves catcher, he was really good. But anyway, he told the catcher, like, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Don't worry about it. And he's like, what are we doing? And after he threw a certain pitch a certain direction, he goes, he's going to think I pitched that. And so when we play them in the playoffs, when it matters, I know how to get them. And he got him. He got Jeff Bagwell, who was like one of the best. He's
Yeah,
probably
right,
the number
right.
one best hitter at the time on the Astros.
Right.
And that's when he goes, that's when it's going to matter, is when we go to the playoffs. And to me, that's not human strength. That's technique and also understanding the game.
That's
So-
right.
So I
But
think
the
I think a lady could do it. Maybe again, it's an odds game. Like maybe not that good. If you took 100 girls and 100 guys and you put them through the pitching regiment, there's going to be a couple girls who are better than the majority of the guys.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
No. What do you think the big the big discussion has been? Is that
Because there's going to be some of those guys who just don't get it. They're not built. They just don't understand pitching. And then you move them to like outfield.
well, I mean, a woman might be able to throw a curveball, but the curveball is not going to be coming at the speed that a guy could throw it at, and where it happened like it happens right at
But it's
the
also
end.
like you could say that about the knuckleball. Like knuckleball is not a very a frequent pitch people pitch, but
but that
if
would
you
break-
get that technique down, you can really screw up batters.
Yeah, but it'd break her fingernails, and so she probably wouldn't.
Well, no, I
do
mean,
that.
again, it's just technique. I'm just saying I wouldn't doubt it. You can't say absolutely with certainty that will never happen. I'm like, I don't know. I can see at least like one phenomenal person coming through and just be like, oh, okay, it can happen. Because it's kind of like when you see people who are kind of like Wayne Gretzky. Like, he does not look like a hockey player. I mean, he's a big dude. He's not as big as you think he would be, or as good as you thought he would be. But somehow he just blew everyone out of the water. Not just like, oh, he's good. It's like, no, like some of his records might not ever be broken
Right.
because of how much of a gap he is between the first and second.
Right.
So,
But it just seems like
so there could be the same thing with the lady. I don't know. I mean, it's all about teaching and upbringing. So you're going to get some hard butt dad who wanted a boy,
yeah,
and it's like, no, you're going to be a pitcher. I don't care if you're a girl.
on a national.
Yeah, I think that's actually what the first
Baseball.
female in the NCAA was a pitcher. I think that's what she did. I think so.
I don't think she was a pitcher. She have a long ponytail, like a.
Well, she's a girl, I hope. Or I guess guys can have
That's
ponytails.
true. How would you know for sure?
All right, we got to wrap it up.
Oh dear. Okay. All
We
right.
don't have a show tomorrow.
We don't have a show tomorrow. So, what are you going to play? Which one will you play?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, come on. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, so thank you guys for listening so much. Thank you, Chris Wootton, for being our sponsor, and thank you, first responders. We certainly admire you, and always happy that you're here because you make us feel so safe. Okay. So anyway, call somebody you love.